Hi, my name is Jack, and I'm one of the pastors at Dothan First United Methodist Church, and I bet you know what this is. This, of course, is an Easter egg. It's plastic. It's the kind that we will use when we have Easter egg hunts with candy or some kind of nice treat inside so that our children can anticipate the resurrection. I think originally that was the intent of such a holiday. And of course, we are in the season of Lent, and it's a very odd season of Lent. We are wrestling with the coronavirus epidemic. We are striving to figure out a way forward as a church and as people, as a community. We're dealing with closings of all kinds. We're trying to keep up to date with the most recent news. And in the midst of all of this, I can't help but think about these Easter eggs, because I have 2,000 of them in my office for an Easter egg hunt that probably isn't going to happen when we'd like it to. But in 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verses 7 and following, Paul encourages the church, and he says something profound that goes along with these Easter eggs. He says this: "We have this treasure in clay jars, so that it may be clear that this extraordinary power belongs to God and does not come from us. We're afflicted in every way, but not crushed, perplexed, but not driven to despair, persecuted, but not forsaken, struck down, but not destroyed." And in some ways, clay jars are pretty normal things. They're pretty frail too. You can break them pretty easily. And Paul sees the people of the church, as being fairly normal, pretty common, like clay jars. But inside of them, they hold something special. And what is it inside of them that they hold that's special? It is life in Jesus that makes us whole. And so this keeps us from being crushed. This keeps us from being driven to despair. This keeps us from falling apart in a lot of ways. And Easter eggs kind of remind me of the hope that we have in Jesus Christ. At the end of this season, and we're not there yet, and many of us wrestle with a lot of hard things, but at the end of this season, I really hope that we find resurrection. So I have a challenge for you. You may not have a clay jar in your home, but I bet you have some Easter eggs. And if you don't, let me know, and I'll be glad to find you some. But sit down with your loved ones, or maybe by yourself at home, because you probably got a lot of time on your hands, and write a letter. Write a letter to someone that you love, someone who gives you hope, someone that at the end of this season of uncertainty, they will have helped you get through this. Write them a letter telling them how thankful you are for them and how they are sharing the love of Christ with you. And put that letter inside a plastic Easter egg. If you're anxious about contamination, make sure you wipe it down and get it sanitary. And take that egg and go and hide it somewhere that this person that you feel gives you hope will find. Hide it somewhere that they will find it, so that you can give them hope and remind them that there's a lot to look forward to in this season. Jesus is with us, and while we have very real threats, very real fears, I really do hope that we can treasure the hope that we have inside of us and look forward to better days. May we do what we need to do now to care for the vulnerable, to care for the high risk, to care for those who are easily out of sight and out of mind, because in this season we have a lot to offer each other. I'm grateful we get to do that together.